The biggest secret in the original Coca-Cola recipe was never the formula, but what Americans were actually drinking. Coca-Cola did not begin as a soda fountain drink. It began quietly on a shelf inside an Atlanta pharmacy store. In 1886, a local Atlanta pharmacist mixed the very first batch of this now famous formula by hand. He marketed his creation not as refreshment, but as a medicinal tonic meant to treat several common everyday ailments. Customers bought it from behind the pharmacy counter, alongside cough syrups, headache powders, and other remedies. That pharmacist advertised his tonic as a cure for fatigue, nervous conditions, and general everyday malaise felt. Nothing about its early marketing resembled the playful, refreshing image Coca-Cola carries today around the world. This origin as medicine explains why the original formula contained ingredients nobody would expect in a soft drink. One of those ingredients came from a plant whose derivatives are now among the most tightly controlled in America. Understanding why that plant ended up in a pharmacy tonic means stepping back into 1886 itself. In the late 1800s, the United States had almost no federal regulation over medicine or drug ingredients. Pharmacists routinely created tonics using substances that today require strict prescriptions and legal oversight. Opium, cocaine, and other now-controlled compounds appeared openly in cough syrups, teething remedies, and tonics. Coca leaves, harvested primarily in South America, were imported legally for use in medicines across the country. These leaves contained natural compounds believed to reduce fatigue and improve mental clarity in small doses. Pharmacists extracted these compounds into tinctures, mixing them into beverages meant to feel medicinal yet pleasant.
This blending of medicine and refreshment was common practice, not something hidden or seen as scandalous then.
Advertisements for Coca-based tonics appeared openly in newspapers, promising energy and relief from exhaustion. Against that backdrop, one Atlanta pharmacist decided coca leaves belonged in his own experimental tonic recipe. That decision, unremarkable in 1886, would eventually become the central mystery of this entire story. The pharmacist combined coca leaf extract with cola nut extract, creating a formula built around two active ingredients. Cola nuts, imported from West Africa, contained caffeine, adding a stimulating effect alongside the coca extract. Together, these two ingredients formed the basis for the name Coca-Cola, directly referencing both plants used. The coca leaf extract was included on purpose, based on the belief that it offered real therapeutic value then.
At the time, doctors and pharmacists genuinely believed coca could relieve headaches, fatigue, and digestive discomfort.
The amount of active compound in each serving was relatively small, measured in fractions of a gram per bottle. Still, that small amount meant early Coca-Cola contained a genuine, if diluted, trace of a controlled substance today. This detail rarely appears in modern advertising, yet it sat quietly documented in the company's own early records. For customers of that era, this inclusion was not shocking. It simply reflected standard pharmaceutical practice. The real question was not why coca appeared in the formula, but how long that ingredient would actually remain there.
Welcome, sir. What can I get for you today? A refreshing glass of Coca-Cola, please.
Pharmacists mixed the tonic syrup with carbonated water directly at the counter, creating a fizzy, drinkable beverage.
Customers began ordering it less for its medicinal claims and more simply because they truly enjoyed the taste.
This shift in customer behavior happened slowly, as people returned to soda fountains for pleasure, not treatment. Pharmacies noticed rising demand and began serving Coca-Cola alongside other flavored, carbonated fountain drinks. Sales figures from the 1890s show demand climbing steadily beyond what a simple medicine typically achieved. As popularity grew, marketing slowly shifted away from medicinal language toward themes of enjoyment and taste. As popularity grew, marketing slowly shifted away from medicinal language toward themes of enjoyment and taste. Advertisements began emphasizing taste and satisfaction, rather than old promises about curing fatigue or nerves. This transformation turned a niche pharmacy tonic into something resembling the mass-market beverage recognized today. As Coca-Cola's popularity expanded nationally, scientific understanding of coca-derived compounds was also advancing. As Coca-Cola's popularity expanded nationally, scientific understanding of coca-derived compounds was also advancing. Researchers began studying the physiological effects of cocaine and related compounds with far greater precision.
This research revealed real risks tied to regular use, risks earlier pharmaceutical marketing had largely ignored. Lawmakers took notice, and discussions began about regulating substances previously sold without any restriction.
If you are enjoying uncovering this hidden history, subscribe. There are plenty more surprising stories still coming. Coca-Cola's continued use of coca leaf extract placed the company directly inside this growing national conversation. Executives faced a difficult question: whether the drink could survive removing its original active ingredient. Removing that ingredient risked altering the flavor that had become central to the drink's rapidly growing popularity. Yet keeping it risked increasing legal and public relations exposure as regulations tightened across the country. Facing this pressure, the company began working to modify its formula without losing the beverage's signature taste. Chemists developed a process that removed the psychoactive alkaloids from the coca leaf extract before it was added.
This process used what became known as a decoconized coca leaf extract, stripped of its stimulating compounds.
The extract still provided the flavor notes associated with coca leaves, without the controlled substance itself. This adjustment let the company keep coca leaves listed among its ingredients, while removing psychoactive effects.
By the early 1900s, this decoconized version had effectively replaced the original formula nationwide.
Most consumers noticed no meaningful difference in taste, since the core flavor compounds remained largely intact. This quiet reformulation happened gradually, without dramatic public announcements drawing attention to the change. The company continued sourcing coca leaves specifically for flavor extraction, a practice reportedly continuing today. What disappeared permanently was the psychoactive compound, not the plant itself, or its distinctive flavor contribution. With its formula stabilized, Coca-Cola shifted focus toward building a recognizable, consistent national brand identity. Standardized bottling let the drink reach cities far beyond Atlanta, while maintaining identical taste everywhere. Distinctive bottle designs and consistent branding made Coca-Cola instantly recognizable on store shelves nationwide.
Mass production techniques allowed the company to scale output dramatically throughout the early 20th century.
Advertising campaigns positioned Coca-Cola as a refreshing, all-American beverage suited for everyday moments.
Coca-Cola appeared at community gatherings, sporting events, and everyday meals, embedding itself in American life. By mid-century, the beverage had become closely associated with American culture itself, both domestically and abroad.
That widespread cultural presence made its unusual pharmaceutical origins feel increasingly distant and irrelevant.
Few consumers reaching for a bottle considered its connection to 19th century medicine or controlled substances. As decades passed, public fascination shifted toward a different mystery: the company's closely guarded flavor formula.
Stories about a secret recipe, locked away and known to only a handful of employees, captured public imagination.
This secrecy became central to marketing, generating curiosity that overshadowed the drink's real historical origins.
Most consumers assumed the secret referred simply to proprietary flavoring, not to any history involving coca leaves.
Generations grew up drinking Coca-Cola without learning that coca leaves once appeared in its ingredient list. School textbooks and popular culture rarely mention the pharmaceutical origins behind America's most familiar drink. This gap in public knowledge let a simplified, sanitized version of the company's history dominate popular memory.
The real secret was hiding in plain sight the whole time, buried under decades of consistent branding and marketing. Coca-Cola's transformation from tonic to icon effectively rewrote how the public understood its own origin story.
That rewritten history explains why so few people today link the brand to its unusual 19th century beginnings.
This story continues fascinating people because it captures a moment before modern drug regulation existed at all.
Substances now classified as dangerous controlled drugs once appeared casually in everyday medicines and beverages. That contrast shows just how dramatically medical views and legal frameworks shifted since the 1880s. Coca-Cola's early history offers a rare, documented window into that earlier era of pharmaceutical experimentation.
Few products connect so directly to 19th century medicine and modern-day consumer culture at the same time.
That connection makes the story feel personal, since millions of people still drink a version of this exact beverage.
Knowing this history adds unexpected depth to something many people previously viewed as a purely simple soft drink.
The hidden ingredient in the original Coca-Cola recipe was coca leaf extract, taken from the same plant as cocaine.
An Atlanta pharmacist added it deliberately in 1886, introducing the drink as a medicinal tonic.
At that time, such ingredients were widely accepted in medicines and drinks, long before modern drug regulation existed.
As science, law, and public opinion changed, the company removed the psychoactive compounds while preserving the flavor.
Coca-Cola's evolution mirrors America's own change, moving from calling Coca a medicine to calling it unacceptable.